Hello everyone, Arcanine here, and for the first time ever on this channel, it is time for actually a set review. I did look at a set before, but I've never really properly reviewed one. For this video, it is time to review the brand new Scarlet and Violet set, Scarlet and Violet Base set. But I do want to make very clear that this is going to be a review that's pretty much going to be based off of collector side, so in terms of artworks, in terms of rarities, investor side of it, obviously, sealed shut, I guess that makes sense. So yeah, not in terms of playability, which if you're familiar with this channel, you know that I most likely will never really talk about it because I usually don't do that. And if you don't, then unfortunately that side of Pokemon will unfortunately be discussed by someone else. With the release of Scarlet and Violet comes an official end to the Sword and Shield era. But honestly, with sets like Evolving Skies, Brilliant Stars, Lost Origin, Fusion Strike, Chilling Reign, and honestly, I could go on like that for a while. I think we can't really complain much. With the release of Battle Styles in 2021, we got a brand new rarity that absolutely took Sword and Shield by storm, which were the alternate arts, which is literally just what the name says. It's an alternative artwork for both V and V Maxes, which turned out to be a fantastic idea. That idea, in my opinion, got expanded on with Chilling Reign, which was a set right after, and in my opinion pretty much peaked in Evolving Skies with alternative artworks for every single evolution, Rayquaza, Duraludon, and a few other Pokemon. I think in terms of quality it pretty much stayed the same in Fusion Strike in my opinion, but there were definitely a few problems with that set. Not only were the pull rates very lackluster in the first print run, it was just not quite what obviously Evolving Skies was. Pokemon later came on in the beginning of 2022 with Brilliant Stars, which turned out to be a fantastic set, with obviously one major change, which was the trainer gallery, a 30 card subset that you could acquire in the reverse slot, which made place for 15 sort of like Pokemon trainer hybrid cards and 15 more alternate art versions of V and V Maxes, more full art trainers, and a lot of other rarities. After that, we got Astral Radiance, which also had a training gallery, and that also turned out to be a very good set. Then after that, we got Pokemon Go and Lost Origin and Silver Tempest, and I think Silver Tempest rounded off 2022 pretty good, and I think we can say that 2022 was a near perfect year. Like a near perfect year, but yeah, it was a very, very good year overall for Pokemon cards. I think Crown Zenith kept off Sword and Shield almost perfectly in my opinion, with a bunch more alternate arts and the Galarian Gallery, which is just a bigger, better trainer gallery. And now we're actually here with the release of Scarlet and Violet Base set. With Scarlet and Violet Base set come a few very, very big changes, not only in rarities, which is pretty common, but also on the card itself, or at least there were changes that we've actually never seen before. English Pokemon cards always had the yellow border. It was there literally from the start, but I think that Pokemon English also saw that the Japanese gray border equivalent was pretty good and looked very good with the artwork and complemented that artwork as well. So from now on, from Scarlet and Violet forward, we're going to get gray borders, which in my opinion is a very big change, but I do think that the majority of people actually think that this is most likely going to look better. And you could definitely be a fan of the yellow border, but you can't deny that it absolutely complements the artwork. Not only that, but we got a critical change with the pack structure as well, which is something that I also don't think has ever been done. But with the rising prices of both booster boxes and the ever-growing number in the set itself, it was obviously time for a change. Now you not only get one reverse card, but also two reverse cards, and that's not even the biggest change. You also get a guaranteed holo, or at least in the worst case you get a guaranteed holo, which makes it a lot easier for people to actually collect the master set, which is just pretty much every single card in a set, and also the reverse card equivalent of the cards that have a reverse card. Just like with every single new era, there are also a bunch of changes in the rarities. In Scarlet and Violet, EXs make that grand return, and they do look absolutely fantastic in this beautiful new jacket that they are put in. EXs are now considered double rares, which are covered by just 2 black stars, which is just one more star than the normal rare, which is just a holo that is now guaranteed in every single pack. Full arts make their return as well with a double gray star. We also have 2 brand new high-end rarity cards with illustration rares and special illustration rares. I think the normal illustration rare can just pretty much just be seen as those like trainer Pokemon hybrid cards in a training gallery from last year, but then without their trainer and with a gray border. So you pretty much allow every single Pokemon to have a version of this, which looks beautiful, which now get just 1 star. The special illustration rares are a part of the double star, and you also have a triple gold star for the gold cards. Makes sense. We also finally now have alternate art trainer card, with Miriam being the most sought after card in the entire Scarlet and Violet base set, which I guess makes sense. It's definitely one of the top cards in my opinion. We also get Terra type Pokemon, which are these crystal type Pokemon, which not only get EXs but also this full art equivalent, which in my opinion you know, probably one of my favorite cards in the entire set. We got about 24 different illustration rares, which is definitely more than we had in the past. I think a very good example on how these improve the cards is probably Dondozo, which had this, in my opinion, not a very beautiful promo card in the 3-pack blister, but get, in my opinion, a very, very beautiful illustration rare, with probably my favorite ones being the Riolu, Drowsy, Slowpoke, and the, like, you know, storyline between the Ralts, Kirlia, and the Gardevoir EX, which is probably my favorite special illustration rare in the entire set. I love this card personally. Honestly, I think every single illustration rare just has that special oomph to it. Illustration rares, in my opinion, do a fantastic job of just improving the card and just putting that card in a world, which is pretty much how these Pokemon live, and I think that's very important to remember. I don't really think that there is a best illustration rare. I think the best thing that you can do for a illustration rare is simply just do like a lot of different styles, and this illustration rare gallery, or how you want to call it, does a beautiful job of displaying a ton of different styles, which I think, in my opinion, work absolutely fantastic. But personally, my favorite cards are the Terra type cards. You can pretty much just put any Pokemon in that position. At least that's what I think. I personally don't play the game, so I'm not 100% sure. There might be some Pokemon ruled out of actually being there, but in my opinion, those look, in my opinion, the best, especially when you have one up close. You can absolutely appreciate how good these look. I think the investing side is a lot harder to really determine how good it actually works, not only because Scarlet and Violet is obviously brand new and we don't know how the sets are going to be forward from this set, but also because the pull rates have been a little bit more loose, or at least the top heavy cards has been a little bit easier to pull. Not only that, but I think there is also a lack of that one blockbuster big Pokemon having a special illustration rare or illustration rare, which I definitely think matters. I'm usually a fan when that happens, but I do have to admit that when you have a set like, you know, Evolving Skies that has like 10 different Pokemon that actually get like a top heavy card, I do feel like it's a little bit of overkill. But obviously with Scarlet and Violet being brand new, I can't really knock them off, because there's going to be a lot of, you know, new Pokemon that is going to get their appreciation over time. And I also think it's very important to mention that this is going to be a base set. The hype is only pretty much going to be more, and base set is just going to be a set that's going to lose its relevancy pretty much almost immediately, but that's never really the fault of the base set. It's also the quickest one in this era that's going to go up in price, because obviously it's going to be the oldest one, but I feel like that's something for the future. There's a lot to get, in my opinion, for both collectors and investors in this set. I think this set does a very good job of, you know, portraying EXs and, you know, the bunch of other, you know, rarities that have come into this set. If I had any complaints with this set, I think I, you know, again, as I already just said, I think I would want to see that one blockbuster, you know, special illustration rare, and I also would have liked to see more older trainers getting a special illustration rare now that we can actually get alternate arts for trainers. But honestly, I think overall there barely is anything to complain about. It's going to be the base set. There's going to be a lot of other stuff that's going to get released, and, you know, the best thing that this set could have done is a nice little introduction off, and it absolutely did a very good job with that, in my opinion. I will be scoring the sets from 0 to 100, and for Scarlet and Violet base set from a 0 to 100, I'm feeling an 83. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy this type of format, then obviously I would really appreciate a like. If you obviously are a returning viewer and you're interested to see more videos, you can obviously check those out, and you should definitely subscribe if you want to see more. And yeah, Arcanine EX.